just to really sum it up, if you've heard about us over the years, going back a little ways, we started the organization officially in 2009, but this is really what we've created. It is a culmination of a 20-year dream that primarily my wife and I had started a long time ago and slowly built. And now we've got 15 staff. Shelby's one of our staff members here. And it has just grown tremendously, and we couldn't be more thrilled to be where we are. Just bringing unique exhibits, unique education programs into our schools and throughout the community. And again, I won't go into all the details about what we're doing, but if anybody has questions, please feel free to ask. This is the second open air artist in residence that we've had. Last fall, we hosted Lauren Bellini, and we had hoped at that point, she started, it was pretty much the same time, started in September. We had kind of thought that our facility would be done and we'd be open for business when Lauren was going to start with us. That turned out not to be the case. But you know, we had a good number of live animals that Lauren was able to check out our lab and learn from our staff. And it definitely provided a lot of inspiration for her work, but you know, our exhibits were just being installed, I think, when she was done. I think the signage was going up, and we never even had a single butterfly in her time that she was here with us. This fall, we've been thrilled to have Sam with us, especially with Sam's artistic expression that was translated through the creation of edible works of art featuring an insect component. He did a program a couple of weeks ago, was that, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I guess already, that had edible insects, if people were interested in trying that. Opening our new facility has welcomed really a new era for our organization and the reach and impact of our education efforts. All along, really, our hope has been to have a place not only for education, but inspiration. And in regard to the wonder and the beauty of the natural world, as you'll see tonight, I think that we've succeeded in doing so not only for our schools, but for the general public and for artists like Sam. Just the same as everything has been over the past few years, Sam's weeks with us so far has just like flown by, and I haven't gotten to know him as much as I'd like to, and I think you have like another week or so? Yeah. However, the work that I've seen him do is pretty amazing, and I'm sure he'll be talking about it, but the one piece that he's been working on is to try to mimic how the light catches a blue morpho butterfly wing, which is, I've seen so many paintings of blue morpho butterflies that are beautiful, but they don't capture that just magic of how the light hits it. And Sam has just been doing this really unique project that I think is incredible, just in terms of how unique it is and its creativity in terms of trying to capture that. And I'll just say that, you know, I look at him, I walk by his work area, and he's sitting there with like basically a pipette that you might like drop out tiny bits of chemicals like in a lab, but he's putting tiny bits of paint into a textured surface that I'll let you see it for. Are you going to be showing folks that this evening?
They'll be civil, but
okay, so I'll let you check out his work to see what it's all about, but it really is incredibly unique. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to have been hosting him these past weeks, and I hope that the ideas and the inspiration that he's getting from this residency will continue to inspire his work in the months and years ahead. So it's definitely been hopefully a win-win situation on all fronts. So, yeah. All right, well, thanks.
Thank you, Glenn, and special thanks to Open Air and for the Missoula Butterfly House for this amazing opportunity to be here. This is me when I was a kid. I still feel like I'm a kid, but I love playing, lots of games. I grew up loving Legos and building tree forts and playing with clay and drawing and playing lots of games. So I'm gonna show you just a few of way too many pictures that I have. So I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and graduated with Kanye West in 2015. Fun fact. And then I started teaching a few years after that. Spent some time teaching painting and drawing. Here's some of my student work that I really enjoy. And then to make money, to support being an artist, I also do a lot of other things like teaching and fabrication. I work seasonally at Socrates Sculpture Park in Queens, making other artists' work for the shows and then destroying it at the end of the shows. I've also taught fabrication to kids at a summer camp. I'm teaching them how to make large-scale public sculptures and directing projects like this one. And now I'll talk about some of my own artwork. When I was in art school, I was playing around with different participatory events like serving people food in a gallery space with a little line on the ground dividing the front and back of the room, and people who decided to walk around the back of the room might get a little surprise. For my graduation show, I made a piece that was one of my first really major participatory pieces, and is this woven image of the Statue of Liberty, and it's woven out of US currency. And then I invited the audience to remove parts of the weave and destroy the thing, and it was dismantled in the first night. Then I started counterfeiting money and using international currency, and then receipts seemed to be the next thing in line. And then, let's see, more receipt stuff. And then I started weaving rope and painting on different parts of the texture to get this sort of lenticular holographic effect with shifting colors. Kind of like what Glenn was talking about earlier. This is one of the first pieces that I made down that line. And then I've also always enjoyed just painting, just a few random paintings. I'm trying to paint every single friend that I have. It's been taking me a number of years. But yeah, so I'll talk about more participatory works. So Ground Level Platform, a space that I directed in Chicago, was a participatory event space. Our grand opening, we had a huge feast and we roasted a pig. Here's an image from that. We also put on wild events like art, pillow fort, sleepover parties, and things like that. I still like Legos. These are giant Legos made out of recycled plastic. This is some of my public sculpture work. This piece was exhibited in the Chicago Sculpture Exhibit. This one in Virginia. And I started playing around with other forms of garbage and trying to make garbage into things like rocks. Let's see. Playing more with garbage, thinking about floating garbage islands and things like that. And then I started spending more time making games. And this is part of a game called Maintenance Art the Game, where when people clean and fix and organize things, it's worth certain amounts of points. And within the game, there's like hidden treasure and hidden bonus points and stuff like that. Here's the treasure that's part of one of the first iterations of that game. That was at a residency called Art Farm in Nebraska. When I was in Art Farm, I also cut down a tree and I found some of these delicious grubs. And so I started trying eating different bugs. And then I started serving it to people. I made a mock catering company, and I would go to different art shows as a pretend hors d'oeuvre table that was serving people insects and other bugs. Here's a mealworm tart someone was happy to eat. There's some candied cricket stuffed dates with gold leaf and rose. Some scorpion topped cactus pear with agave worm salt. And ant avocado bites. Ants are nice and kind of lemony tasting. And yeah, so I've just done that in large scale events and small scale events. Here, during my time here, I taught a cooking class, and people got crazy and cooked a bunch of bugs. We got weird and had a fun time, and possibly got a little grossed out. It was awesome. Okay, so I think before, rather than showing you a ton of pictures about my work, I'd like to just kind of have a little experience with you guys that I was working on while I was spending a lot of time here hanging out with the butterflies. So I want to do this little activity that I'm calling the butterfly social. Okay, so everyone's invited to participate in this, and as much as you feel comfortable, it should be pretty low stakes. But ideally, everything should be pretty fun and playful. Okay, so I've been researching interactions between different social butterflies and just studying their behavior, and I've been conducting this research for about 3 decades, and during my time here I designed this social experiment to see if I can replicate observed patterns in social butterfly behavior. So I have kind of 5 little steps for this experiment. In the first step, I designed a little test. If people want to look at it through this QR code, I think it's like maybe 5 questions, or 4 or 5 questions. And this will help determine, it'll place you as a butterfly type. So if you take this little survey, about 4 or 5 questions, I don't remember, it'll place you as a butterfly type, and then everyone who's participating will be transformed into butterflies. We have some balloons over here to make wings and stuff. And then we'll go into the butterfly room, and everyone will be given both tokens and a prompt card that will tell you what your specific butterfly social behavior is. And it'll be pretty easy and straightforward. And then I'll be serving a variety of different flower nectars for people to sip on as we conduct this experiment. Okay, so so first things first, if people want to use their phones and take a picture of this QR code, and it should open up a little survey. If anybody needs help or can't do that on their phone, I'll be happy to help you. And then once you have completed the survey, it will give you your results, and it will show you what type of butterfly you are, and then you can come right over to the balloons and help yourself. I think me and maybe ChaShaMa will assist people in making their balloons if they need any help.